couple of weeks ago, I went to a car show outside Columbus, Ohio, called the Nationals. I mean, it was formerly known as the Mopar Nationals, but evidently that's trademarked, and they're not allowed to use that name on the show anymore, although that's how we still refer to it. I've been going to this show for over 30 years, and you say, well, what's the appeal? And I said, well, they got a car show, they got old cars, they got restored, perfect restorations, they got vehicles that are less than perfect, older vehicles, anything older, Chrysler is allowed. And then even the newer Challenger, Charger, Viper, the newer performance and muscle cars, they're allowed into the show. They have a designated area for it for what they call modern muscle. But they also have a swap meet. If you're looking for parts, people make new parts, new restoration parts that are created to supply the demand where there's just nothing out there for certain parts of your vehicle. Drag racing, that's always been a part of the muscle car heritage, is take it on the track. There's some dedicated drag racers that can sign up for some trophy and some money that if they win, and then people just want to take their car down the strip just to see what it can do, just for the heck of it. And then lots of cars to look at, and in every condition you can think of. And one of the things that I noticed that was very interesting this year is a '69 Dodge Charger Daytona that was a barn find. Now, the Daytona was designed strictly for NASCAR racing. They made very few of them. They were very successful to the point they were actually more or less banned from competition because they started making rules and regulations that made them uncompetitive because nobody else could keep up. And this car had been sitting in a barn somewhere, and it's all intact. It's not, it's not that nice a condition. But the guy that had a little sign on it is told how he'd been after the guy for years. Finally got him to get him to sell it to him. And it had dents in it, it had some rust on it, it had mismatched tires. It needed a total restoration, but it was intact. It was running, and the fact that it was still there and still around in one piece was incredible. And the good news is when that car gets a full restoration, it's like a $150,000 car. I mean, that's why people search for these. And another vehicle that I saw that was kind of significant, very interesting, was an old Dodge Power Wagon from like post World War II. And they were a very utilitarian vehicle with a six-cylinder engine with not a lot of power, but they were geared so they could climb over anything. They were four-wheel drive. And this person had done a full restoration on it, but he modernized it. He had a Dodge Cummins diesel from a late model truck, and it had air conditioning and chrome wheels, and it was like a perfect, almost show truck. And it was, it was something we hadn't seen before. We've seen the Power Wagons, but not done like this one, and it was incredibly nice. And it's just a lot of fun to see the ideas that people come up with, how they modernize some of these older vehicles. Some of them are restorations back to just the way they left the factory, like the exact nut and bolt type restoration. Some are just everyday cars that people are just, older cars, they enjoy them, and they're just having fun with them.